Welcome to another one video on GCP. In this video, we are going to place some uh, computing instances, that is your virtual machines over the network what we had created in the previous video, right? And there are various ways to deploy VM instances. Okay, so that what we are going to handle right now, right? So already, as I had said in the previous video, I'm having a account which is having quite few VM I'm having a VM instance over there. So the very first command what I'm going to run is to list the VM what I'm having. So as I had said earlier, you have to enable the service called compute.googleserviceapis.com. So that you have to enable. Without that, you can't able to create any VMs. Okay. So basically, I'm starting with the first command. As we had said, the cloud compute instances list. Okay. So instances in the sense, this is what the VM. Okay, so I'm having a VM named my VM, right? So like you can able to list the VMs, and it will list all the VMs in different zones. But I'm having a single VM which is having in the zone US hyphen West US West 1A. So again, I am filtering it back with a particular zone equal to US West 1A. Okay, so it will mention the particular VM zones. Sorry, zones. I made a mistake over the flag. It's zones. Right. In this way, you can able to identify the instances what you are having, or else you can filter by its name too. So like list, there is a flag like filter equal to name, and you can mention like my VM, right? With this also you can able to filter, right? These are the way you can list the VM. And now we are going to create a VM with in various ways. Okay, so basically first I'm going to create with a very initial way, like I am going to mention the zone, then the machine type and the image family. Okay, so that's the basic command to create a VM, right? So I am clearing this one. G cloud compute instances says create and my demo VM, and then I'm going to mention the zone and all. So I'm going to create it in the zone US hyphen West 1A. So then the machine type I have to mention. Machine type is E2 medium. So many machine types are there. I will show it in the console in the further uh, video. Then image. This is what the OS what I am going to deploy in the machine. Image family is equal to Debian 12. So many OS images are there, right? Then finally, I'm going to this is what the image family, and I'm going to use the image Debian Cloud. So image project equal to Debian Cloud. So now it will start creating the. So now when you are creating a machine, it will automatically bind the IP address, then that is internal IP, and it will provide a public IP. Both the thing, public IP is in sense external IP. It will provide all those things. So here I had mentioned like machine type, image family, all those things I had mentioned. Even without that, with the zone alone, you can create the VM, right? So you can see in my console. Now I'll refresh this one. You can see like it will show the VM, right? So without an image also you can able to create a VM. It will create by its own. No need to worry about anything. So I had accumulated with the machine type, image, project, all those things. Without that also you can able to create. And another way of creating, so before that I'll delete this VM what I had created. So that we can try with other commands too. Okay. So for that what you have to do is gcloud compute instances delete, then your my demo VM, and then you have to mention the zone, that is yours best 1A. Yes, but it is in a running stage. Okay, and if you want to maintain the disk what is created along with the VM, you can keep it or else you can delete. Okay, if you want to keep it, then you have to use this flag keep disk. Okay, if you are providing this keep disk flag, then your disk allow also will be there. If you are not providing that, it will delete along with the disk. So now it will be deleted. This is one way of doing. Yeah, now it got deleted. Okay. And the next command what we are going to use is along with the previous command, I'm going to mention the disk size and all. So we are going to use the disk size, that is boot disk size equal to 50 GB, right? And then I am going to mention the type of the boot disk type equal to PD balance. There are so many types available. I'll show when we are creating it through the UI. So you have to mention the type of the boot disk too. So I am creating again the same VM. Okay, now it's got created, right? So you'll have the same thing, but you can see the disk size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run another one command. I'm going to describe the particular VM, what we had created, the particular zone, right? So it will give the entire detail, and you can see like it will have a disk over there, interfaces, IPs, NAT IPs, all those things are there, right? And coming to the disk, yeah, you have the disk. You had mentioned 50 GB, and it is a persistent disk. That is what PD balanced. So the disk is also created. Okay, so in this way you can describe the entire VM what you had created, right? So the next we are going to delete this one, and we are going to create in another way without. So I had described. I think cannot delete it. Yeah. Yes. So it got deleted, right? Again, we are creating the same VM with like without external IP, that is public IP. So what I have to do is with no address. So this will create a VM which is not having a external IP. It will have only the private IP what is created automatically. So 50 GB boot disk rather than image size 10 GB. No issue at all. Okay. So the disk size is 50 GB, that is larger than the image size. So if you need, you can resize. That's what it is showing. And you can see that there is no external IP. So in this way also you can create a VM. When you are in need like a VM that is needed to connect it with another VM or another instance of Cloud SQL or anything within the network, then you can go with this kind of thing. Okay, so again I am deleting the VM. So earlier we have created few VMs with particular way of deployments, right? So now we are going to create a VM over the network we had created already. Okay, so for that, what we have to see is first we have to see what are the networks available. Then we have to list the subnets available. So basically, what will happen is you are creating a large network, and this large network is splitted into multiple subnets as we had discussed earlier in the networks video. So now we are putting a machine over the subnet. Okay, so in this way we are going to check the things, set the things. Okay, so for getting the name of the network what we had created already, we can use gcloud, then compute networks list. Okay, networks list. So in this way you can get the networks what are available. Okay, yesterday we have created my demo network, right? So now we have to get the subnet of the particular network. So like basically to get the subnet list, you have to give like gcloud compute, right? Then networks, then subnet list. Then you have to mention the network name, that is the VPC network name. For that you have to give network equal to the name is like my demo network, right? So you will have like it's a network which is available in multi-region, because we have not specified any region over there, so that it get created in multi-region space. So like this we are having a biggest more number of subnets we are having in each and every region. Okay, fine. Now we have to put the machine over a network, right? So for that we are going to utilize a command where we can attach the VM to a particular network too. Okay. Okay. So this is what the network we are having in Genox demo. That's what the network. And we are having a subnet named subnet US best one. This is what already I'm having in my account, so that we can utilize this one. Whereas this my demo network, it is having auto subnets, so which is not created by us, so it will have more number of subnets. Okay, it is a multi-region subnet, so no need to worry on that. We can have the Genworks demo. Okay, so the command goes like this. The same thing, we are going to create a instance gcloud instance create my VM with network, that is my VM net, and I am adding the zone over here. The zone is US plus 1A, zone equal to US plus 1A, and then I am going to attach some network, that is what the network I am going to add. Network equal to Genox, right? So Genox demo, and followed by the subnet name. Subnet equal to the subnet what I had seen over there is like subnet hyphen US hyphen S plan, subnet hyphen US instances or Google instances. So it will be in plural. So that again was some mistake. Sorry. Box demo. Yeah, there is a mistake with this one. Box demo and first projects. Compute instances. I missed out this one. The cloud compute instances. Compute because under compute only it will be available, right? So two things I can make mistake like the network pulse I had given a wrong name and again could not fetch a resource subnet network interfaces subnet like subnet west one. The reference subnet resource cannot be found. Subnet west plus west one. Yeah. Problem with this one is I had created the Genworks demo in the location of this one also was I think the region is somewhat making the issue. I think the region is yeah, coming to the next one. So already I had shown you, right? The thing over here is we are having this subnet, right? The subnet is residing in US Central 1. So that it is making some issue, I think. So we can make it a Central 1A, zone as Central 1A. And we can make this subnet as actually we have the subnet in the name of that one is subnet US West 1, but I think the location is in central US zone is a central zone actually. So region is central 1 and might be the zone will be central 1A. I think so. Let me try with that one. Denied permission, denied. Yeah. So now we had created with the same G-Cloud compute instance, then my VMnet, and this is what the thing you can create the things very easily. Okay, and machine type it allotted N1 standard. We had not mentioned any machine type, right? So this is what the command you need to use for creating a VM or a network. And here we are having external IP. If you don't need external IP, you have to give hyphen no address. That's it. Okay. So yeah, these are all the various way to create a VM, right? So consolidating all these things, we will have a command which will show the all the ways all together put into a single command, and I'll create a command and let me see that next. Before that I am going to create delete this one what I had created. Mm, just a minute. Here we had created in this zone, right? Not west. We had created in central zone. That is what the last one. So I am going to delete it off. Like you have to mention the zone, otherwise you can't able to delete it properly. So instances, delete. Okay. So it will delete the instance, particular instance. It will ask for the confirmation. You can delete with that confirmation. So that's all about this. And yeah. So now you can see it got deleted. And now we are going to make a VM which is having all the things whatever we had discussed till now, so that it will be combined and we will make a single command. So this is what that single command, and this one we not need that because we are already attached with the project. And gcloud compute instance create VM full demo, that is what the VM we are going to use. And yeah, as I had said, you can put this symbol over here, that is what the cap symbol. And US central A is our zone as per the data what we are having. And I had mentioned the machine type, and then I had mentioned the CPU platform, like it's not minimum CPU platform is not needed actually. So so it is all about the minimum CPU configuration at which the VM instance is allowed to run. So for that I had used Intel Hassel. So many things are there. Intel Broadwell, Intel Skylake, all those things are there, right? And coming to the next, I had mentioned the image family, and then image project. That is what the image OS image. And then we are creating a disk over there with the size like 20 GB. So earlier we had tried with 50 GB, we had reduced it to 20 GB right now, and it's a persistent disk, right? Persistent disk, and we are creating a disk device. It's like so it is a kind of logical name for the disk what you had created, boot disk, what you had created. And the next is our network, that is GenWorks demo, and the subnet is subnet US and West 1, I think the name of that subnet, right? Subnet US West 1, West 1, that is the name of that. And the private network IP you can go with 0.0.10. I think it's available, I think so. Hope, let me see what's the subnet address we are having. 0.1.0, right? So we can make it as 1.10. Within that subnet we can add, right? And we can make like, yeah, and it will not have any external IP. Okay, and finally it is tagged with a name called HTTP server as well as HTTPS server, so that when you are making firewall it will automatically apply to the VM. Okay, so this is what the command we are going to run. Yeah, I had made a mistake. The last one I had not taken out the slash somewhere here. I had, yeah, and here too in the west. I have to add this one, and here I have to add this one. And yeah, now we can go with the command. Again, there is an issue. I had given the last one, I had given the yeah, this one not needed. Board disk name. Yeah, I think we had mentioned something like board disk name as well as device name, both the things. Can make it like board disk name. No need of device name, I think. Okay. What I'm going to do is again, I'll try with the command. Central one was not found. Yeah, it's not central one. It's US one actually. West one. So the subnet name we had missed out. West one. Yeah. Let me see again. Let me see. So I think it will execute machine type. CP platform is not supported for E2 medium. I think so. I'm trying with micro again. Let me check. Mhm. Okay, no issues. Can make it a standard. Standard. Or else a non-standard we can go with the next. Okay. Mhm. Fine. We had tried with E2 standard, but it is not available in that zone. This thing happens, that not a biggest deal. So we can try with another machine and another location, or else we can remove this min CPU platform. So that's it's not a important one. So the minimum CPU is the other thing. Fine, we will go with that. So I'm trying by removing the minimum CPU configuration because it needs some particular machine over there. Then it will take a long time to study the things. You have to check all the charts. So it will take a long time. It's creating. Let's wait for a few minutes. So the same thing 10 GB, that no need to worry on that. So now we had created a machine called VM Deb full demo and it started running and it's having an LLIP. So these much of things we are having. Okay, right? So you can specifically give a IP, you can specifically mention all those things over there, right? So that's all about this. Okay, I'll pause. Yeah, we can move on to the next topic, that is what data disk and all. We'll check on that. Okay, yeah. So further we are moving to another one, that is what creating the data disk. Okay, already we are having yeah, before that we have to check two more commands like starting a VM and stopping a VM. So already a VM is running, right? We had created a VM called VM, what's the name we had given? VM full demo, I think. Yeah, VM full demo. So we have to start and stop the VM, right? So to make this one, you have to use G-Cloud Compute instance. So just you have to add like start, stop, and then the zone name. So basically the zone is like zone equal to US Central 1A, right? So we'll stop that. And for starting this one, you have to use the same command. Instead of stop, you have to add start. That's it. So for now, why I am stopping this one is if you are running this one continuously, it will be charged, right? So in that case, it should be avoided. And for that, I am using this one to be stopped at this moment. Okay, it got stopped, right? This is one way, and yeah, like we can start and stop the things, right? So now we are moving to the next one called creating the disk, okay, and creating and managing the disk, okay. So for that, okay, fine, we are creating a first of all we will list the data disk whatever we are having, right? So already we had created few machines and deleted the machines, and some in some cases you will have like this one um, like will you can make it like the disk will be kept alive, right? So in that way the disk will be there even after the deletion of the machine. So we are having two disks. One is with the VM full demo. The name of that one is VM full demo, and the other one is VM MIVM. And the type of both the things are having PD. So we are having PD persistent disk, standard persistent disk, balanced, extreme disk, like that. So many types are there. So we'll discuss all. You can Google over it. So we are having these two disks. Okay. Now what we are going to do is even you can list the things along with the zone. Right. So you can make like US Central 1A, so that you will get like this one VM full demos disk. It will be listed over here. Okay. What zones? Sorry, the thing is zones, not zone. It is zones. Central one zone US field find. Whether I had made a mistake? US Central 1A. I think instead of Central, I had made a mistake. Yeah, Central 1A. Yeah, it will show the particular machine which is deployed over there with the disk. Okay, so in this way you can list the disk, right? Now we are going to create a persistent disk. Okay, that is PD disk, right? So standard persistent disk we are going to create. Again the same command G cloud and compute. So disk, so it should be in plural, and create your disk name my disk. Okay, my disk. and we can make it a size of 10 GB. That's more than enough for creating right now. So when you are attaching this one to the VM, it will be mentioned as disk size. Where you are when you are creating the disk like this one, it will be mentioned as size. That's enough for making it. So 10 GB, then you can create in whatever zone. We are having two zones, so I can utilize in one. I can utilize your central one. So all the demos will be there under a single thing. Central 1A. Okay. So below 200 GB we had created, so it is saying like it's poor in performance. No need to worry on that. Okay. So this is the way you have to create a disk, right? So and the same thing you can, it will create a standard disk actually. That is what PD standard disk. If you are not mentioning anything, and when you are going for like the same thing with some other SSD disk, and you can go like my SSD disk and the same size and all. I'll make it, but I have to mention the type over here right now. We can make it as type, and you can mention the type as PD SSD. Okay, so if you want to create an SSD disk, you can make it like this. So when you are clicking this, entering this, you will be created with a new one. Yeah, it's got created. So for SSD alone, you have to mention you should format the disk before using. Okay. So now we are going to create like before mounting a disk. That we are not going to do that anyway, but I'll show you the command for formatting the disk. So if you want to format your disk, the best limitation is you must have to attach that disk to particular any one of the VM. Then you have to SSH into that VM. Till now we had not gone inside the VM, right? After running startup script, we can get into the VM and we will check something over there, right? So in that case, you can able to check the things over there. That's it. So we are not going to format right now, or later on when there is a need we can do that. Now we are going to create a balanced disk. Okay, I'm changing the names here itself. No need to make too much of changes. Bal disk. Okay, and this is of type PD balanced. So many types are there. Each and every disk has its own advantages over that. So for your balanced disk, in the sense you can create it for a long time usage. That is like you can utilize for backup as well as the day-to-day use, right? So all the things I am creating with 10 GB itself, right? So basically we had created a standard disk, we had created a SSD disk, we had created a balanced disk. Okay, then the next step we are going to uh, create a disk image, that is of an OS image. From an image we are going to create, we are going to describe the image disk. Then the next we are going to attach a disk to a VM. Then we are going to detach the same disk from the VM and then resizing the disk and then deleting this disk. That's what the last thing we are going to do. Okay. So first thing we are going to create a disk from an image. Okay. Yeah. The same thing like gcloud, compute disk create, and I'll make it as like my disk image. Okay. I'll make it like this, and I'm going to specify some image over there. There is no need of this type, all those things. Instead, I will provide a family of image and then the project that is the main image source. So hyphen hyphen image family, and it's Debian. We can go for Debian 12 as we had seen already, Debian 12, right? So image family, I had Mr. I, and then image project hyphen hyphen image hyphen project, and we can make the project name as Debian Cloud, right? And then the zone as well. Okay, so zone equal to US hyphen central hyphen central one hyphen a. Okay, so this is what the command I had given, right? And I'm creating the disk, so it will create a image disk of a particular OS. Now we had created 4 disk. Okay, so 4 disk we are having. We can create delete all those disk once we are had used all the disk. Okay, for each and every process. Okay, fine. Now there is a thing called if you want to uh, display the properties or the attributes of a particular disk, you can either describe or inspect, right? So we are going to describe a particular disk. Okay, right, we are clearing the screen. For visibility I had cleared the screen. Now we are going to inspect a particular disk. Okay, so gcloud compute, then disk, to describe my disk, and under the zone it is US hyphen central 1 hyphen a, right? So it will show the properties of the particular disk what we had created. This is the first disk we had created, I think. So it will show the things about the link, all those things, the size, then physical block size, all those things. It will describe the entire disk what we had created. And the next what we are going to do is we are going to attach with this one with the VM full demo VM what we had created earlier. So for that, what we are going to do is gcloud. Okay, so compute instances, then attach. There are 2 commands for attaching. You have to make it as attach command, and for detaching you have to use detach command. So attach disk, and then the name of the VM, that is VM full demo, I think. VM full demo, right? Along with the disk name. Disk name is can make it as my disk, right? And then the zone. If you need read-only mode means you can add like mode equal to RO. That is what read-only mode. If you need, you can add. Then finally the zone, right? Yours central one hyphen A. Okay, so no mode is nothing but the read-only mode I had attached. This disk I had attached to the VM full demo with this read-only mode. Now it's updated with a particular which one particular disk. So how we can identify this one? We can go with this and we can delete these things, and you can like not attach disk. You have to describe the particular instance. Describe will have both the disks right now. So yeah, at the top we can see like, so we have a VM full disk with a of 20 GB which is attached while creating the machine itself. This is what the second one we had attached like 10 GB disk. That's what we had added, right? That's the second disk. So totally we are having two disks over here, right? And it is attached where compute batch attached disk. Okay, and this is what read only, it's added as a read only mode. So in this way you can add the things. Okay, fine. Again I'm clearing the screen, right? Now the detach is also the same thing. We can detach the disk from the attached VM. That is pretty simple. Detach, that's it, no other way to go. So it will get detached something, yeah. When you are going for a detach, there is no need of read-only mode, right? That's I had missed that one out. You can detach the disk. And the next what we are going to do is we are going to resize a particular disk. Okay, so already we are having 10 GB of size with the disk, the same disk, right? Yeah, I'll resize this one. So what you have to do is you have to add resize and you have to mention the new size of this one. So the new size is size, I can resize it to 20 GB. Okay, that's up to you, right? When you are inspecting the disk again, you will see that it will be of 20 GB, right? So it will not be reversible like that. It is giving some warning. So we are updating as of now. We need to know that, right? That's why. And finally, we are into a command called delete disk. Okay, so this is the final command we are going to run, and we are having multiple disks, right? So for that, what I am going to do is before that we will list the disk and then we will remove the disk whatever we are not in need of. Okay. Okay, so we will first we'll list the disks whatever we are having list. So we are having pretty few things are there. So we are going to delete the disk. All the disks are there in the same location, so we can utilize this. Delete my disk. Then there is no need of size. The zone is needed actually. Other than that, no need of anything. So first thing I'm going to delete the my disk. Okay, and then I'm going to delete my SSD, all those things, all the delete disk we are going to do, like my SSD disk, then my ball disk, then my disk image, all those things we will create delete. Okay, and the next we are going for my ball disk, yes. Then next any other disk, my ball disk, my disk image is remaining, I think. Yeah, my disk image, that's the final one. So likewise you can delete all the disks what are not in use. So that's all about data disk. So we had seen like creating a VM in multiple ways, then deleting a VM, then yeah, attaching a VM with a network, and finally we had created some disk and attached that disk to a particular VM. All those things we had done. So we will meet again in another one video which will discuss about the snapshots. Then yeah, that's the next video we will meet on. So thank you for watching.